I discovered a crazy YouTube trick that lets a video become longer after it's already uploaded. The video you see looks like a normal 4-minute video, but that's only the English audio track. Using YouTube's audio tracks feature, I added a second version labeled Klingon. When viewers switch to the Klingon track and restart, part 2 of the video plays automatically. The visuals stay the same, but the audio continues the story, making the experience feel like one extended video. So technically, one upload contains 2 parts, hidden behind different audio tracks. It's a fun experiment that completely changes how runtime works. You don't remember the sky, not the real one, not the one that goes on forever in every direction, until your brain gives up trying to measure it. You remember drawings of it, crayon blue on construction paper that your mother kept in a binder she labeled, "Things You'll See Someday." You remember a photograph your father laminated and taped to the ceiling above your bed, a meadow, green grass, yellow wildflowers, a horizon that disappeared into something vast and clean. You stared at that photograph every night before the generator cut the lights. You thought you understood what outside meant. You did not understand anything. You were born in 2003, 14 months after your parents descend the ladder for the last time. Your father is a former Army engineer who spent 11 years convincing himself the collapse was coming, and 4 years building the place that would survive it. Your mother is a nurse who loves him enough to follow him underground, which is either the most romantic thing a person can do or the saddest, depending on which side of the hatch you're standing on. The bunker is 2,400 square feet of reinforced concrete, buried 18 feet below a property in rural Montana that your father owns outright. He built it himself over 4 summers, with the help of 2 friends who both backed out before the descent. He does not hold it against them. He just crosses their names off the emergency contact list and seals the door. There are 12 people in total when it closes. Your parents, your father's brother and his wife, 3 other families from an online preparedness community your father moderated under the username Watchman47, 1 retired Marine named Gerald, who brings more ammunition than food and spends the first year reorganizing it by caliber, and eventually, you. A baby born into recycled air and fluorescent light, and the absolute certainty, delivered daily by your father like a weather report, that the world above is gone. Your childhood has its own logic, and within that logic, it is almost normal. You have school every morning from 8 to noon. Your mother teaches reading, math, and basic biology. Your father handles history, survival skills, and what he calls situational awareness, which means learning to notice everything and trust nothing you cannot verify. There are 7 other children in the bunker, ranging from infant to 15. You form a kind of classroom, a kind of neighborhood, a kind of world. You have chores, water filtration rotation, garden maintenance in the grow room under the UV lamps, where your father cultivates soybeans and spinach, and a tomato variety specifically engineered for low-light environments. You learn to check air scrubbers, to read CO2 monitors, to repack medical kits with the efficiency of someone who understands that a missing piece of gauze is the difference between a scratch and a sepsis case. You learn to shoot at age 6, a .22 rifle, in the long corridor your father calls the range. It is 19 feet of poured concrete, and the sound of a shot in that space is enormous and flat, and you never fully stop flinching at it, which your father says is fine. He says the day you stop flinching is the day you stop respecting what the tool can do. Gerald disagrees. Gerald thinks flinching is weakness. You spend your childhood quietly deciding who is right. The bunker has a library. 231 books your parents carried down in waterproof containers. Fiction, medical references, engineering manuals, religious texts, seed catalogs, a complete set of Encyclopedia Britannica from 1987 that your father says is more reliable than the internet ever was. You read all of them, some of them twice. You read a novel about a boy who runs away to sea and spend 3 days afterward sitting in the corner of the grow room with your back against the warm humming of the water pump, trying to understand what salt air means when you have never smelled anything that wasn't recycled and filtered and measured.